Let's talk about how to motivate yourself to work out from home in the morning. Now, here's one of the techniques that I absolutely love, and it is absurd, and it sounds ridiculous, but boy, does it work. That's why I'm excited to share it with you. And as a matter of fact, I used this exact technique before I did this video to get me excited and to share that vibe and energy with you, okay? My name is Dr. Jay Kavanaugh of thevibemindset.com, where we talk about how to elevate your emotional state, raise your vibe, raise your energy, because we know that your emotional state has an effect on the decisions you make or don't make, and also the actions you take. So we know the value of emotions is strong. They're powerful. But when we're waking up and we're kind of groggy, we're just getting out of that relaxed, sleepy state, it's a little bit hard sometimes to jumpstart or kickstart that vibe, right? So this technique I'm going to offer you is extremely simple, but it acts fast. Now think about this for a moment. Fight or flight. Now, if all of a sudden I came up to you out of nowhere, you came out of the restroom of a restaurant, and then boom, here I am like this, like, hey, I got a beef with you. What's the first thing that's going to happen? One, you're going to get hyper-focused on me. Two, your heart rate's going to increase. And three, your breathing is going to be something similar to this. Okay? You're almost going to be in a version of hyperventilating, okay? So here's the key. All these cascade of events are happening in this direction, right? Let's reverse the direction. So if you are in front of your workout equipment and you're about ready to work out, but you're not so sure you're going to, or even if you haven't even made it that far yet and you just woke up and you're just brushing your teeth or maybe making your coffee and you're starting to wonder, what decision do I make? Do I not work out or do I work out? Here's the technique to use. It is a very, very, very simple breathing technique where it's very similar to hyperventilation. Why can I not say that word? Hyperventilating. But you're not hyperventilating, you're just ventilating, let's call it. So here's what it is. It's a bunch of short, quick breaths and a quick, short exhale. So it's like this. Notice I'm taking a super deep breath. Chest is out, shoulders are back, getting as much air as I can in my body, and then dumping it out as fast as I can. Now, you will sometimes get a little lightheaded. Like right now, I always recommend doing it sitting down when you're first getting used to it. But what happens is if you just do 3 to 5, maybe even 7 to 10, depending, start off small, start off with 3, then move to 5, maybe 7, 10, whatever works for you. But start small. Take a couple of those deep breaths. And what happens is it starts to trigger in your body the fact that you either need to fight or flee, right? And so in this case, now what happened is we know that we don't have to flee because there's no imminent danger, but we know that we can fight. And instead of fighting, because there's nothing to fight, we can fight our indecisiveness to work out and use that energy to focus on our weights. Now, a lot of times, if you can do this in front, so here's 2 additional bonus tips. 1, this technique works on its own. However, if you want to bonus it and max it out, here's 2 things you can do. 1, before you do this, put on your favorite workout outfit. That's 1. 2, do this while standing in front of the workout equipment you anticipate using. Focus on it with your eyes, then do the technique. And do you know, most of the time when you're looking and all of a sudden you've kind of primed yourself, you gotten your breathing going, now all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I'm already here, I'm gonna do it, I'm kind of excited, like, you know what, forget it, I'll just do 1 quick set. And this is where we need to get to, where you do that 1 quick set, but then 1 quick set turns into 2, turns into 3, turns into 4, boom, you've got yourself a workout. This technique sounds absurd, but I'm telling you it works. Try it. Matter of fact, an additional technique you can do too, sometimes I'll actually walk around my gym and I'll start pacing. I start pacing and pacing. Why? A very similar reason. Now, this is a good substitute if you're not into that whole breathing thing, or maybe you get a little too lightheaded when you do it, because that does happen. Even when I just did it now, I felt a little bit lightheaded just for maybe 5-10 seconds. It wasn't much, like it was just a hair. But for some people that maybe are a little bit older or maybe just don't like that feeling, what you can do is pace back and forth, because it's creating a very similar effect. It's raising your heartbeat. all of a sudden pacing is what nervous people do, right? So now it's activating very similar cascade of neurons and pathways within your body to get you a little excited, get your pupils dilated, get you ready to rock and roll. Now all of a sudden you've moved your body already. Now all of a sudden your body is primed to move even further. And at that point, you can either add the breathing technique or you can just focus and say, you know what? Let's do this. Sometimes I'll even clap for myself. Because think about what clapping is. You sometimes need to take actions that are ahead of the event, right? So when you clap, that's what people do when someone did something great or so the signal of clapping itself and just that sound is like job well done, job well done. That ahead of the event will make you want to do a job well done. So these techniques work. I'm telling you, I've used them a multitude of times. Sometimes it's hard to motivate people, but the truth is that just use the fact that we know how the body works and we know that it responds and is triggered by certain actions and breathing. So take that information and use it for good. I want to hear your success stories below, so tell me how it works for you. Yes, I know it sounds crazy. And yes, hey, you're doing this at home, so it's okay to breathe heavy at home. Obviously, at a gym, this would be very difficult because people's fear of judgment of others, which I certainly understand. However, this video is how to motivate yourself at home every morning to work out. So hopefully this works for you. I know it works for me. Thank you so much for your time and listening. We've got other videos that discuss how to activate your emotions, elevate and raise your vibe, and get things done. So go ahead and help yourself to those. And thank you so much for your time.